downtown Petersburg Square, where we have 2 or 3 different little shops that are open on Fridays and Saturdays. We thought we'd bring you down here since it's starting to get warm and sun shining today, and let you all see what all the new treasures that you can find down here at Junk and Stuff and the Thread here in Petersburg. When you come down here, you always want to check the sidewalk for their bargains on the sidewalk. They've always got cool pieces you could put in your yard, on your front porch, all vintage, rustic, old tools, old farm tools. There's also, I saw these when we walked in earlier. Anybody that's starting seedlings, here's some small terracotta pots. I'm sure Miss Kathy would make a deal on those. There's some planters, old windows. Look at these old farm tools. Vintage. Thresher. Is that what that is? Well, let's go on in the store and see what all else she has. There's some up-to-date DVD movies, some old rustic ornaments, older books out of the library. Then if you're local to Petersburg, you always want to check out the Petersburg merchandise, where they have the zip code pillows and Morgan School alumni pillowcases, the square on pillowcases. I think those fit a 15 by 15 pillow. Here's the big cheese spread. That's made locally here in Petersburg. Miss Kathy's really good about having gifts and merchandise for everybody. She's got old vintage baby gowns, jewelry, handkerchiefs. These would be great if you were getting married. If you're having a baby, if somebody's having a baby, you could make one of the handkerchief bonnets. There's also some older quilts and throw blankets. She's kind of customized this corner for baby gifts. Here's some little blocks. Be cute to decorate a nursery. There's some boys' bears at the bottom. There's some baby blankets up here. Quilts, hats, little girls' gloves. It's just a neat little corner. Then as you come around this way, it's kind of tight quarters for my cameraman. There's some, here's a brass vanity. It's got all kinds of precious moments on it. Here's some vintage cases that are great for hiding and storing cards or photographs that you have in your house. Here's some, is this an antique TV tray? There's 2 of these. What's a chair? Wooden chair. There's 2 of those. There's a horn. My girls always ask me what these were, and unless you grew up with some lambs or some sheep, you're not going to know what that is, but that's some cards for cleaning wool. They're very old. The cabinets are stocked full of treasures and antiques. Reasonably priced antiques. Cabinets of all kinds, shapes, and sizes. This is a great place to get some frames. There's all kinds of different size frames with art in them, or you could reframe something that you already have at home. Here's a jewelry cabinet. It's got jewelry inside of it. Some coasters, jewelry boxes, hats. Here's some fur. I'm sure it's faux fur. Doesn't feel real. This may be real. What animal is that? Mink. All kinds of beaded necklaces. Then we come over here to the other side of the store. The other side of the store is mainly kitchenware. Here's some glassware. Some red glassware. I don't know what it's called. It's pretty. Be Valentine-y if you had a Valentine party coming up. All kinds of coal lamps. Here's some vintage. I don't know if it would be antique, but definitely vintage. Kitchen utensils. Some ice cream scoops. Cake pans and covers. Rolling pins. This hutch here has more of the same. Glassware and kitchen utensils. Here's an old mixer. I don't know what year what decade even that's from, but it is very heavy duty and it's an older model for sure. Back here is where you find all kinds of hodgepodge treasures. My girls and I were just back here and they found these glass antique knobs for dressers and things. And then here's some white glass ones. Here's some tiny wrenches, clamps, all kinds of tools, chains, irons. Here's plumbing supplies, Vera Bradley purses, softballs, casserole dishes. This is just a hodgepodge of deals back here. It's a pretty big white laundry basket, lampshades. You could probably just spend an hour in this room alone and find treasures. Some Christmas lights, old Christmas lights. Here's a gathering basket. Up here by the front counter, Miss Kathy always has fresh baked sourdough bread and fudge. The profits from that always go to benefit the library. There's some Avon. Then she's also got more Petersburg merchandise up here. Flour sack dish towels that have the Petersburg Square, the Colt Show towels. More Morgan School, Lincoln County towels, and then on the bookshelf right directly across the way there's some Junk and Stuff t-shirts and Petersburg Square t-shirts. The new colorful t-shirts are available. There's also toys and things for babies, you know, handmade wooden toys. That's made locally. Firecrafters here in Petersburg. Some colored pencils, looks like. Those are cool. I've never noticed those before. Back here in the hallway going towards the... Did you show these knives for? There's some knives if you're a knife enthusiast. Check out this stuff back through here. Here's an old grapevine wreath.
It's rocking horse.
Yes, the rocking horse. I've seen those go on Antique Roadshow big time. Here's some tiny houses and an old schoolhouse desk. Telephone table with some antique telephones. I'm wondering how many would know how to use the rotary dial telephone. Here's an ice box. It's for sale.
Radios.
Some antique radios, baskets. Here's some locker. Here's some peacock feathers. I bet they're grown organically here too. Some cotton. I want to be behind the chair. Here's all kinds of glassware, dollhouse figures, knickknacks. Look at this tiny wooden hand-carved rocking horse. When you come to junk and stuff, be sure you come to the back to the library. She's got merchandise along the top of the bookshelves. She's got some children's chairs, some fishermen. What are those, old putters? An antique sled, some shoehorn. Is that a shoehorn? What is that called? A shoehorn? A baby crib. There's a doll. Wonder how old that doll is. It says it's an iron handle newspaper fireplace. Log something. Is that a chair stool?
I'm going to say that's probably a shoe shine stool.
A shoe shine stool. Get rhythm. I always think of Johnny Cash when I see shoe shine stuff. All kinds of treasures up here. We're going to go in the thread now. She's got vintage jewelry and clothing and kitchenware. Here's a restored painted vanity. Some scarves. This looks like a crocheted Afghan. Some cardigans and sweaters, hats, all kinds of vintage lamps, working lamps.
Vintage lingerie.
Vintage lingerie, there you go. Look at these, the silver brush. Some old perfume bottles. That little bitty perfume bottle, Lucy, isn't that pretty? Here's a marbleized painted desk chair. Use it as an accent chair just about anywhere in your house.
That came from TSU.
Came from TSU, she said. Here's some scrunchies and some lingerie and
Some beautiful rings.
some beautiful rings. I think Miss Kathy's daughter makes these rings, doesn't she, Miss Kathy?
That's right.
There's some earrings she makes and necklaces.
This is the coolest ring I like.
You like that swirly whirly? Here's some little jewelry bowls.
And a small table with all this stuff in here.
Books.
Yes.
Is this milk glass, Miss Kathy?
Uh-huh.
All kinds of milk glassware.
Yep.
It's a juicer, a cup and saucer, some Pyrex dishware.
There's a 4-place setting of the milk glass dishes.
4-place setting of the milk glass dishes. That's a rarity. Blue and white dishware.
Most of my vintage stuff is mid-century. There's some that's not, but most of it is.
Meaning it would be from the 50s, correct?
50s, 60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Here's some
70s.
here's some metal cookie cutters. It's like a donkey. Some leaves. Guessing that's a sheep, maybe.
This looks like
Horse.
Granby's cups.
They do kind of look like Granby's glasses. Here's some brown dishware, stoneware. It's a chicken and a rooster.
Grandmother had all kind of that right there.
The brown dishware.
Yes, she had all kinds of that brown dishware.
Yeah. That's late 60s, 70s.
Yep. Yeah.
Here's some milk glass candle holders.
Yep.
Here's some plaid throws and afghans.
Here's one glass.
Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of molds down here.
Yep.
Copper molds, aluminum molds.
And some black pans and pots and pans.
Yep. What are these called, Miss Kathy? These little. Are they
I don't know, but they're great soup bowls. That's
soup bowls?
what I've
They
used
bring
them
you
for.
soup. They bring you soup in these
Like the
like
Dixie
this at the
Stampede.
Dixie Stampede.
Oh, did they?
They do, so you
Okay.
can, because they don't give you
They don't give you
silverware.
silverware.
And you can
They
drink
give
it.
you a full meal and no silverware.
No silverware.
Rotisserie chicken, pork loin, soup,
Wow.
baked potato. No silverware.
It keeps the, with the lid on it, it keeps the,
It's
it
stone-
keeps the
it's
stuff
stone.
warm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I just like the way it looks. I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
I like
some,
the mix match.
here's some new piece. I just brought down this morning some new jewelry my daughter's made. Haley's made. She's my partner here.
They're pretty.
She's made some new jewelry.
Look at these sparkly ones.
It's all
They'd be
resin.
good Valentine gifts.
And
I like
here, these are homemade
Leather bracelets.
leather bracelets from found items. We have a new friend who's just discovered Petersburg, and she makes these. She travels around the country.
That's
These
neat.
are my favorite.
And
jewelry.
these little pieces right here are deer antlers.
Oh,
Parts
cool.
of deer antlers. And then we have these leather pouches that Randall Crabtree makes.
Oh, that's neat.
And he says, they're great for the glove compartment, and they are, but I think a clutch purse.
A clutch
I love
purse,
clutch purses,
uh-huh.
and I've used this as a clutch purse, and it's got the buffalo nickel and an Indian head
That's pretty cool too.
nickel on it, so those are
What are these,
cool
like
stuff.
coasters?
Coasters, those are also Haley's.
Some tiny,
Creations.
tiny little jewelry. Look at
Yeah,
these,
and
look at
these
clay
pins,
covered
yeah.
pins.
Haley makes those as well. But these coasters, if you hold them up to the light, and if you look at it from the side, they look like
They're pretty cool looking.
Stalagmites.
Splattered. Yeah,
they're
they're splattered. They're
cool
neat.
stuff. And here's a little ashtray she made.
Cool. There's also little jars of sewing kits. Salt and, look at these cow salt and pepper shakers, cute. So be sure if you're out and about on a pretty Saturday or Friday afternoon or morning to stop in and see the Cathys. That's what we always say, the Cathys. You've got Miss Kathy Fullerton and Miss Kathy Forster and Miss Kathy Sorrells are always down here, and there's other women here from Petersburg who dedicate their Fridays and Saturdays to Petersburg, and they have their shops open and the library open, and are trying to get our community going again and restored, and we try to support them in every way we can. So we hope that others will come up and give us a visit and enjoy our hometown hospitality.
We're having a great time, and
It's fun. It's
invite
fun.
others to come out.
Every time I see
with
them,
us.
they're always smiling and laughing when they're down here. So I'm sure they would enjoy for you to come join them.
That's right.
It's supposed to be pretty tomorrow, and it may rain a little later this afternoon, but be sure you come out and check them out. They're open from 9 to 5 every Friday and Saturday.